Stu Cowan and Pat Hickey of the Montreal Gazette here at the Bell Centre, where the Canadiens lost 2-1 on Thursday night to the Stanley Cup champion Chicago-Blackhawks. Pat, what was that Bill Murray movie, Groundhog Day? It certainly seems to be the same story every game. They outshot the Blackhawks 40-33. They outhit them 22-13, and they lose the game 2-1.
Yeah, it's it's interesting. They've lost 14 of their last 18 games, and in 13 of those games they've scored 2 or fewer goals. So they're just not scoring goals. The goaltender again kept them in the game. Michael Condon. I thought that both goals, they had defensive lapses, defensive mistakes.
Jonathan Toews was wide open on the first goal.
First goal, and then Beaulieu fails to get the puck out. So you've got a situation where they find themselves down and they pushed. They had chances, but they just couldn't beat Corey Crawford.
And Condon made a huge save on a breakaway earlier in the third period, which would have ended the game right there. Carey Price skated for the 4th day in a row today in Brossard. He was wearing a player's helmet and using a player's stick. Maybe they want to see if Carey can score and bring him back as a player instead of a goalie.
Well, maybe. They certainly need some goal scoring. Carey is making progress. He's not going to be back until after the All-Star break. They made that very clear, and I think that's probably a safe assumption that they're not going to see them push it up, and he's getting a little better every day, skating a little faster, making more pivots, more moves, and things like that. But
he still looks far away from dropping down to his knees and getting back up again.
The problem is that he's not the problem. The problem is they're not scoring goals.
Paul Byron said after the game it was one of their best 60-minute efforts of the year. 40 shots against the Stanley Cup champions. Corey Crawford, the local kid from Chateauguay, played an outstanding game.
He did play an outstanding game, and but again, Condon played a pretty good game too. They had one. Crawford was at his best, and there was one probably in the second period. Canadiens had 4 shots in 9 seconds. Thomas Fleischmann had 3 of them, coming back from after being a healthy scratch for 2 games. I thought the bottom 2 lines produced more scoring chances than the top line. Brendan Gallagher looked like he was a little lost out there tonight.
Yeah, it's almost like the...
Pacioretty had 5 shots, but I can only remember one that seemed to be a grade A scoring chance.
Well, Pacioretty shouldered the blame in the locker room. He said he's tired of no more moral victories. He said, my job is to score goals, and I haven't done it the last 2 games. He did have 5 shots. Alex Galchenyuk, his first game back after l'affaire Galchenyuk, he had 4 shots on goal, 16 minutes and 21 seconds of ice time. He seemed a little slow the first period, but he seemed to pick it up a little later.
You notice he was playing forward, though, in the latter stages of the game. They were trying to get something going. Lars Eller was back at center, and Galchenyuk was playing with the Harney on that line, and they were trying to get something going. One of the things Pacioretty talked about, they talk a lot about how goaltenders get up for the Canadiens and hot goaltenders. He says every team has good goaltenders, and good teams find a way to score against them.
Michel Therrien mentioned that after the game too, saying it's a case of players need to start bearing down a little more when they do get their chances, and it doesn't get any easier. Pat, you're heading out on the road with the team. St. Louis on Saturday night, Chicago again on Sunday. They could be out of a playoff spot by Sunday night.
Yeah, St. Louis is a very good team. They're in that hunt in the Central Division, along with Chicago. Chicago, the defending Stanley Cup champion, they've won 9 in a row now. They're playing their best hockey this season. And if you look at the standings now, the Canadiens are in 6th place in the Eastern Conference. But there's 6 teams below them that are within 3 points. And then there's Philadelphia, which is 4 points back with 3 games in hand. So they've got a lot of room, a lot of teams pushing them, and they could be in trouble.
Well, Michel Therrien says you need 3 goals to win in today's NHL, and they're averaging less than 2 goals a game since the start of December. So things don't look good going forward.
They don't look good at all.